Peace, love, and life, fam. How y'all feeling? Happy Friday. Happy Venus Day. I hope that you all are feeling amazing, in good spirits, and having a good start to your weekend. Welcome to the channel. Thank you guys so much for stopping by, tuning in. Make sure you hit the like button. And if you love the vibe, consider subscribing. All right. Let's get into it. This video is on Cardi B and Offset. Now, I did a video a few days ago on Cardi B and Stefan Diggs, but this one is on Cardi B and Offset. So if you have not seen that video, go and check that one out, and come back and watch this one, or either watch this one and go check out the other one. All right, that one is a little longer than what I expected. I didn't expect that one to be that long, but that's because I did their synastry. So in this video, I'm not going to do a synastry. I'm just going to do a straight up channeling. But any which ways, in my last video, I had stated that Cardi B, she does work. She either practices ATR, or she has like a grandmother or an auntie or someone that she goes to that does work. But she does do work. That's what I'm getting. She does do work. When she was younger, someone trained her. She was trained by somebody that was very powerful, very good at what they do. And they trained her because and also Cardi B, my good sis Cardi B, she's a seer also. So a lot of you guys probably don't know that. Of course you guys wouldn't know that because that's not something that she, publicly she might put it out there. I don't know. But she doesn't really like put it out there, but she's definitely a powerful seer, and she knows how to protect herself. When she was younger, she always knew she was going to be who she is, a public figure in the public's eye, rich, famous, whatever, whatever have you. And whoever this person, grandmother, auntie, they knew it too. They saw in her future. They saw what was going to happen, her pitfalls, her taboos, her good, her bad, her ups, her downs, all of that. They saw all of that. And so they poured into her, and they trained her, and they taught her how to protect herself. Now, not only is she into ATR, come to find out, my boy Offset, he's in ATR too, because I recently saw a picture. What made me want to channel the two of their energy, because y'all know right now it's real messy. And let me say something about divorces and breakups and split ups, especially when children are involved. It's very, it can get very painful, very messy, very difficult. This happens, with just us regular people. I've been through a divorce, and if you've been through a divorce, you know all too well how ugly and painful and messy, and difficult divorces can be. So right now it's really messy. And at first I wasn't even going to get into the energy, but then I said, yeah, let me go ahead on and get into it. I did ask my guides if I can read this, and of course they said yes, because, and I kind of had a feeling that they was going to say yes, because when I had asked permission to read Cardi's energy, they said yes. And I was very honored to read her energy, because she has a very solid spiritual cord, and I love that for her. But he has a spiritual, Offset has a spiritual cord too. Now he must have got the memo, because I saw a picture with him wearing some elite gaze. I'm not sure, if that was elite gaze. Y'all help me out in the comments if you come across this video. But I did see him wearing some elite gaze, because I say I'm not the type of person to just go by a picture, or just go by what I see in the blogs or what I see on the internet. I need to get to the source. That's just me. That's how I roll. I'm a research queen, and I had to go and ask my people, what was really up with him. And yeah, he is into ATR. I'm not sure to what capacity, but he's definitely into ATR. But I get the sense that he is definitely heavily protected, even though he don't act like it. He's definitely protected. He's recently went and like got some consultation work done. He probably went to go see like a Babaluau or a Hogan or something like that. But he's definitely doing what he needs to do to protect himself. Now, I did ask. Oh, and before I get into that part of the message, Cardi B, in the last video, I when I did her natal chart and I did her synastry chart, I did see where she had a mother and a father wound. And, because she had that mother and father wound growing up, her whole entire life, she dreamed and fantasized about what it would be like to have that perfect family setting, to be a mother, to be a wife, and just, and have that perfect family. And she literally manifested that with Offset. Now, unfortunately, Offset was not the man that he was not the one that she should have done it with. But I mean, here we are. I mean, how many of us have got married and had kids for somebody that we shouldn't have? Anyway, but yeah, she always dreamed and fantasized about having the perfect life, marriage, family, kids, etc., etc., etc. And finally, she had that with Offset, and she really wanted him to be the one. She really wanted things to work out between them. She knew he was an ain't shit ass knuckle. She knew that. She knew he wasn't ish. But she still, in spite of who he was and the things that he did, going in, she knew he wasn't ish. And I really feel like she took him from somebody. That's what I get. I don't know too much about their, like that part of the relationship, but I feel like she was that one that took him from another woman. Because that's the type of ego she has. She definitely has that really, really big ego. It's in her natal chart. It's indicated in her natal chart. But, she, in spite of all of the things he did, all of the stuff he put her through, him being a 304, a straight up hoe, she felt like her love was strong enough to help him, to change him, to guide him. Like, she was one of them type of women that was delusional, like, like a lot of us are. She was, delusional enough to feel like, I can love him, I can fix him, I can change him, my love will fix him, my love. My ladies, let me tell you something. You cannot love the toxicity out of a nigga. You can't. You cannot love the toxicity out of a nigga. If you know, you know. Some of y'all who, a lot of us have been there. No judgment to my sis, none whatsoever. A lot of us have been in her shoes. Hell, some of y'all still in her shoes, okay? But any which ways, that was the fantasy that she imposed onto him in their marriage, in their relationship, which is why she put up with a lot of his stuff, why she tolerated and put up and gave him chance after chance after chance after chance, until one day she was like, fuck this ish. I'm fed up with him. I'm fed up with his ish. I can't take it no more. And, boom, here we are. But I did ask how she felt about him. Sis literally hate his fucking guts. She hates Offset. She wants to she wants to unalive him. She wants to unalive him and chop his motherfucking head off. He better tread lightly with my good sis. But that's he pushed her to that point. But again, she really is sad, heartbroken. She's really like in that energy of like reflecting on everything, like, Should I have done this? Should I, like, when you're going through that healing stage, that healing phase, and you go, the different levels of healing, acceptance, and this, that, and the third. She's at that level where she's really reflecting on, where she went wrong, what she could have did, what she shouldn't have done. You know what I'm saying? And the more she thinks about how much ish she put up with Offset, the angrier she gets. And I can hear her saying, I can't believe this ungrateful ass motherfucker gonna try to take me for spousal support or try to pull all this ish on me after everything I did for him. After everything I did for him, he do this to me. Oh, she really want to see him with. Ooh, she is definitely angry with him right now. And if I was him, I would sleep with one eye open around that girl right now. But I mean, they're not sleeping together because they ain't together. But you know what I'm saying? If I was Offset, I would not go around her no time soon. I just wouldn't. Meet, I would get a mediator to get my kids. Like, meet with her somewhere, his people and her people, because she wants to do some really effed up stuff to him. And let me tell you something that I told y'all in my last video. She got that Aries moon squaring that debilitated Cancer in Mars. My sister's about that life. My sister's a fighter. It's on site. My good sis Cardi B is a straight up crash out queen. Do you hear me? Listen. And then she got that Scorpio stellium. I don't know what her ascendant is. I had assumed in my last video that she's a Libra ascendant, but we don't know that for a fact. We don't have a confirmed time of birth. But depending on where that Scorpio, let's hope that that Scorpio stellium is sitting in a good house. Because with that Scorpio stellium, let me tell you something about people with a Scorpio stellium. Them motherfuckers will hide the body and help you find it. Them mofos will hide the body and help you find it. She is definitely extremely petty and vindictive. But not only does he, now she has that Scorpio stellium, but he has planets in Scorpio also. He has I think his Venus and his Pluto in Scorpio. So he's very petty also. That Venus and that Pluto is squaring his Saturn. So he definitely has some issues with he has some serious issues with women. He could have been deprived. He had the same type of experiences growing up in his childhood that he had with Cardi B. They had a trauma bond too. He has similar placements like Cardi B, and he has similar placements as Stefan Diggs. Because I looked at all three of their charts, they all have the same placements. And in my opinion, Cardi B being with Stefan Diggs, she literally attracted the same nigga in a different body. That's it. That's all. But yeah, he has a Sag stellium. Offset has that Sag stellium, just like Stefan Diggs have that Sag stellium. And that type of stellium squaring their Jupiter gives somebody who is extremely insatiable. And if it's not in check, if he does not become the higher octave of that energy, he's going to always be a cheater. He's going to always be a womanizer. So, that's just who he is. It's in him. That is just who he is. He's a cheater. He's a womanizer. He's insatiable. All that is y'all see him doing, wilding out. That's in him. That's who he really is. That man did not need to be married. He did not need to marry my good. He's not set up for monogamy. Men like Stefan Diggs and Offset, they're not set up for monogamy. Now, does that mean that they can never get married or, have a good relationship? No, that's not what I'm saying. But they have to really be self-aware and self-conscious and do the work and know how to pick the right women who will understand that that's who they are. They may have to marry somebody that's not set up for sorry, that's not set up for monogamy either. That's the type of women that they're going to have to be with. And unfortunately, men like Offset, they who's not set up for monogamy, who's set up for poly, marry women like Cardi B who's set up for monogamy, and they end up messing these women over and causing damage to these women, unnecessary damage that unfortunately sometimes can be irreparable. Now, as far as how he feels about her, he wants a second chance. And I don't mean a second chance in like he wants to reconcile his marriage. If he could, he would. I'm not asking y'all, I'm telling y'all. If he could reconcile with that girl, he would reconcile with that girl. He's still in love with that woman. I'm not asking y'all, I'm telling y'all, he's still in love with that girl. I don't care what y'all see. I don't care what y'all hear. I don't care what little childish ass bullshit he tried to do to her. He's still in love with that woman. Because if he wasn't still in love with that woman, he wouldn't be doing the shit that he's doing. He's still in love with her. But at this point, he knows that there's really nothing he can do to get back with her. He's completely crossed the line with her. And with that Scorpio stellium that my good sis have, when she's done with you, she's fucking completely done with you, because Scorpio placements are extremely loyal, and they will love you to no bounds. But once you cross them and they finally sick of your shit, there is literally nothing you can do to win them back. So if my good sis says she's done, she's done. Ain't no nothing. There is no nothing amount of apology money that he can do to fix this. But moving forward, he can do something to make things right. And he will. Now, I do see him. I said it earlier. He is into ATR, and he could be going to a Babaluau or a Hogan, getting help, getting assistance, the spiritual assistance, not only to protect himself, because he already know how Cardi set up, but he's also protecting himself. He's gonna try to fix this. He's gonna try to make it right, as he should. Because why are you doing that to my good sis Cardi B? Like, come on now. Like, that's some bitch ass shit. That's a bitch ass movie he's trying to do. But with that Scorpio Pluto next to his Mercury, he's extremely petty too. He's extremely petty and vindictive too. But all of this is coming from a place of hurt. He sees her moving on. She's moving on because she feels like she have a point to prove. She was like, nah, you never gonna get one up off on me. Cardi B is always gonna have one up on a nigga. Always. That's how she's set up. She gonna always have the upper hand. And she knows that. And she's acting out of hurt and brokenness. He's acting out of hurt and brokenness. So, you know, at the end of the day, they are definitely going to come to some type of truce. They're going to have to. He's going to be the one that's going to, he's going to have a sudden change of mind. He's going to have a sudden change of heart. And he's, going to realize, what, hey, I'm the one that sabotaged, because he completely sabotaged things with him and Cardi B. And I'm not saying that she's not perfect. She's not perfect. Does that mean that, and let me tell you something about my good sis. She has a solid spiritual court. She's set up for life. She has a solid spiritual court. And does that mean, and he's gonna get his karma for what he put her through, don't you? He's probably already going through some karma for what he's doing to her and what he's put her through, which is going to trigger the change of heart and the change of mind, and come to some type of truce with her for the sake of their children. Now, just because my good sis is set up, just because she got a good a solid spiritual court behind her. Does that excuse her for her indiscretions? No, it does not excuse her from her indiscretions. It does not excuse her from getting her karma and learning her lessons, because she has some lessons that she needs to learn as well. And her lessons, and I said in my last video, her lesson that she have to learn is self-love and boundaries. That is her lesson. She has to know that is going to be, she has a lot of insecurities. I'm not asking y'all, I'm telling y'all, with that debilitated Mars in Cancer squaring her moon, she has a lot of unhealed trauma and wounds that come from the mother that has created a lot of insecurities. And she has to know that with or without a man, she's still worthy. She has to learn that lesson for herself. Her sense of self and her identity is attached to a man, is attached to a relationship. But she has to learn that this is why she needs to heal, because she needs to learn that lesson of self love and boundaries. Is that to say that she'll never get a good man, a solid nigga, or whatever she like to date? No, I'm not saying that. She need to take some time out and heal. Now, that does that mean she's gonna do it? I don't know. We all got free will. You know what I'm saying? But she gotta learn that lesson. In my opinion, and this is just my opinion, I really feel like Cardi B need to leave these men alone for just a little minute. Just she'll be all right. I don't know why she feel like she just, I feel like she, like I said in my last video, the relationship between her and Stefan Diggs is a trauma bond, and they definitely have some they have some lessons they need to learn. But it's not about them two, it's about really her and Offset and her energy. She's doing this out of spite. The relationship with him is out of spite. And deep down, she's really crying out for help. Like, she really needs to learn that lesson of self-love and self-acceptance. Like, I am worthy, I am whole without a man. And until she learns that lesson, she's going to keep repeating the same lesson over and over and over and over again, like a lot of us do, you know. But like I said, that's just my opinion. If but don't nobody listen to me anyways. But yeah, he's definitely going to, he knows that he sabotaged things with her, and he knows that he has to fix things. He knows that he has to make it right. He's still in love with her. He's always going to be in love with her. She's always going to be the one that got away, period. Now, they're going to come to this truce. They're going to have to come to this truce. Not because they want to get back together, not because they want to reconcile with each other, but for the sake of their kids. He understands and he knows that she's the mother of his child. And for the fact that, and she's a great mother, by the way. He knows that. Even though he's being a complete jerk with her right now, he knows knows that in spite of what she's doing, what she chooses to do with another man is her business. That ain't none of his business. But this is a typical narcissistic move. You can do what you want to do, but she can't do what she want to do. Okay. Yeah, she showed him. She showed him better than she could tell him. But in spite of what she's doing, which is her business, he knows that she's a good woman. And he knows that she's a good mother. And for the sake of their kids, he wants to fix things and he wants to make things right with her. She's going to get what she wants. She's going to definitely come out of this on top. She's going to get everything she wants and what she's asking for. I strongly feel like they're going to do things behind closed doors. In private, it is suggested that they settle this amicably and in private and go on with their life. He do what he do, she do what her do. I said that wrong. But yes, they're definitely going to come to some type of truce. And for the sake of those kids that they have, they know that they have to co-parent. And it's like they have a little bitty baby. You know, outside of the other kids that they have a little infant. And he knows that he needs to see them kids and be in those kids' life. And I really wholeheartedly feel like she does not want to keep her kids from him. She don't want to do that. So it's best for both of them to lay down their pitchforks and their swords. 'Cause she wants to kill his ass right now. I'm not asking you. I'm telling you. She wants to kill that motherfucker right now, y'all. He's going to make it right with her. He's going to make it right with her. They are going to settle everything quietly and in behind closed doors, behind the scenes. You guys will hear about this. It's going to happen really, really suddenly. Like, we'll see reports or something like they decided to settle this, that, XYZ, da 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 da. He decided for whatever reason to just let go of whatever pettiness he was trying to do to her. And she's going to get everything that she wants out of this. Like, she's definitely going to come out on top, as she should. Because why are you trying to sabotage my good sis? You know what I'm saying? Like, let that woman go on with her life and do whatever she do. She got her own lessons to learn. She got her own life to live, and it's none of your business. Trying to control her, manipulate her. And he got his own lessons to learn as well. But the ride has completely came to an end for the two of them, and now they got to figure out how to co-parent with these babies and figure out how they're going to build a solid and healthy legacy for the sake of those kids. So, boom. I'm going to leave it there. I hope that you all enjoyed this. Hit me up in the comments. Let me know what you think. And until next time, love you. Bye. Ashe, ashe, ashe.